Hello light workers, welcome to Friday. I hope you've got a wonderful weekend planned. Today I'm going to talk about the tarot and other little bits and pieces as well that interest me. Okay, and so I'll see you on the other side. So before we get into the tarot, and I do a reading. I've actually done the reading. I'm going to show you the reading that I've done. And I've done the reading about where we are, as in the group of awakened people. The people who are awake. Where have we been? Where are we? And where are we going to go? Fascinating. But before that, I just wanted to talk about a couple of things. I posted a video that I took from my balcony of that string of lights in the sky, yeah, and I was saying, what is this? You know, what are they doing to our sky? I can't remember ever giving permission for these things to be put above my head. And a comment came saying, you only have to Google it for like 10 minutes and you'll find out that it's Elon Musk's Stargate, blah blah blah. Okay, it just takes, and it was kind of like the message was, you know, don't make a big deal out of it, you just have to Google it and you can find out. Okay, and I believe that this is the biggest problem that we have now in our society. One of the biggest is that we believe now, because we have the internet now, we believe that we can get ourselves up to date with anything in 10 minutes. Okay? So people who become experts have to spend, what did they say? If you want to become an expert at something, you need to spend a minimum of 10,000 hours doing it. 10,000 hours. Then you can call yourself an expert. Okay? But now we have what are called, I would call the shallow pool experts. Shallow pool experts are the ones who just dip the toe, pull out information, and then go away and tell everybody else that they have studied it in depth. Okay, just so you know that Google controls every search that you do, and it limits what you are allowed to see. To actually find, if you can, to actually find anything that is outside of the agenda of the narrative that they want to let you see, you have to scroll 20, 30, 40 pages in. In fact, the only way you can really find anything that isn't controlled, the narrative isn't controlled, is by using a browser like DuckDuckGo. And I've had experiences recently with the whole mess that we've just gone through, where I've talked to people about a product that is very good for curing all kinds of illnesses. Okay, and it cures the big one. It came out right at the beginning. Everybody was saying, take this and you won't have any of the COVID. And of course, I was saying this, and people in my family were saying, oh, hang on a minute, that's bleach. Okay? That's bleach. And I thought, I wonder how they know that. So all you have to do is put that product in. It's called CDS or MMS. I'm splitting it up because then the things don't listen to it, the bots. If you look at that, you go into Google, it'll tell you instantly, over and over again, it's bleach, it's bleach, it's bleach, it's bleach. And it isn't bleach, of course it isn't. Anybody who could do some normal research would find out that it has nothing to do with bleach. It has nothing to do with it. But it's very good for all of these kind of maladies. But people would say, yeah, and that's because they had done a Google search, put it in, and goes, it's bleach. Oh, it's bleach. That's it. Never mind 10,000 hours of investigation to become an expert. People become experts after 2 minutes of researching, because even now Google helps you, because when you put something in, it gives you in bold the actual meaning. So if I put in bright lights in the sky in a line, yeah, of course it comes up that it's Stargate and it's wonderful and it's Elon Musk and all of that. But I don't believe for a moment what I'm told in the media or what I'm told by Google. I don't believe for a moment that that has anything to do with the truth. And nor should you. And I have a feeling that you don't either. But I just wanted to mention it, like we're in this shallow pool experts, like no depth at all to any research, shallow. You know, they say the internet is the broadest amount of information that there is it's like an ocean with only an inch of depth. That isn't true now, but it is if you just use the standard procedures, the standard protocols for searching, because you just need to look at the first page and everything is explained. Yeah, but it isn't. It isn't. So, next one. All I wanted to mention was I'm aware that all around the world that the governments and businesses, well, governments are starting to offer little titillations so that you get that. Little titillations. Like burger and chips, fries. Burger and fries. Okay? Or in some states, I think, a joint, a marijuana joint, if you get that, or a lottery ticket for $1 million. And I was thinking about this, and ice cream for kids. Ice cream for kids. When I first saw all of that, what went through my mind was, how desperate are they? How absolutely desperate are they that they have to do this kind of thing? For example, in one of the bills that they passed, they slipped in $1 billion, this was in the US, $1 billion to help to promote the estate. To help, $1 billion to promote it. You know, if it were that important, if it were that vital, then they wouldn't need to do that at all. You know? So that's what first thought was, how desperate they are. And then my mind said, absolutely not. The problem is, how cheap are the people? How cheap are they that they will happily do something that could potentially do them harm for hamburger and chips? And, you know, let's be honest, hamburger and chips are going to do you harm as well. It didn't look like a very good hamburger and chips. But what is going on? What is going on? Where is our society mentally that they believe that it's okay to be bribed to do something? And of course, shallow pool investigation, they have not investigated anything. They have no idea what it is that's going into them. No idea. But they're quite happy to exchange it for an ice cream or a joint or burger and chips or a lottery ticket. I mean, let's be honest. For you to win the lottery, you know, wonderful things have to happen, like the stars have to align. There's more chance of you being bitten on the bottom by a small dwarf than you winning that lottery ticket, you know, that prize. So I just think, wow, you know, when those who are asleep and who are quite happy to accept this kind of gift for doing something to their own selves, that we know that some of the consequences, they're not great. Incredible. Cheap. You know, where is people's self-worth and self-value? Where is it? It must be dragging along the floor these days. Good grief. And it's all to do with fear. Of course, it's all about fear. You know, they've made people fearful. And I heard somebody talk about this, about people have regressed to the age of 4 and 5. They are fearful children, and that's why we can't talk to them. That's why they can't listen to us. And that's why they stamp their feet if you try to say anything other. Yeah. So unfortunately, that's where they are. Okay. So, tarot. So what I did was this. Right, let me explain a little bit about what I've been doing. I've been doing various courses on the tarot. What I've noticed is that each person that I'm listening to has a different slant on nearly every card. It's rare that I hear exactly the same thing about each card. One of the teachers that's helping me with this said, you've got to make the cards your own. Because as long as you understand what the meaning is of that card, then the way that the divination works is that you get the cards according to your understanding, according to your translation of the cards. Does that make sense? So as long as you know in yourself what that card means to you, and you can make any meaning, then that's what's going to work for you. So I took that on board and I thought, okay, right, well, I'll start to project onto the cards what I feel. I've been practicing a lot. Cynthia and me have been practicing, and I've been doing like my spread. What I mean by my spread is I do a lot of 3-card spread, okay, which is just bam, 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 and let's have a look at the situation. But I've also been doing the past, present, future, or where we've been, where we are, and where we're going to. And I do that with 3 cards going down each way. I don't think it really matters as long as you can, you set the intention before you put the cards down, and then you have your perception of what those cards are saying. Yeah. So fascinating. I love it. And let me tell you, the one thing that keeps coming out every time when I talk about, especially going forward in the future, it's always loss. Okay? And the loss that I believe the cards are talking about is the loss of belief, the loss of who we, this dying to yourself, dying to society, dying to the world, and then being woken again and understanding. Yeah? So that's kind of the loss that they keep coming up with. And then always good, always nice. Yeah? But there's always nice with some loss. Okay, so, we have lost, we're losing all kinds of stuff. Our values and beliefs and what we thought was true, what we held true, we're having to give that up, and that's a big price. That the biggest issue with change is change itself. People hate change, people don't like change, people resist change, because change means that they have to work, they have to become uncomfortable, and people don't want to become uncomfortable. Change always demands discomfort. I love discomfort. I love it now. I've learned to love it. When I became 50, I decided I wanted to put myself into as many uncomfortable positions as I could. Wow, did I know what I was manifesting? Not at the time. Probably I would have taken that back had I known what was coming up. But when you're uncomfortable, what it's saying is change is happening. That you then have to rethink your life, you have to do something different. And that's wonderful. That's why when you are feeling uncomfortable, relax into it. Accept it. Yeah? Celebrate the discomfort, because it's going to lead you to a better place. All right, so let's have a look at what I came up with the cards. So first of all, I looked at where have we been, and I'm talking about the people who are now awake. Where have we been? Okay, so I got this one. This one is the 3 of Pentacles, and it's all about learning new skills. This is basically where we've had to come from. We've had to relearn. We've had to go back to school. Yeah, we've had to go back to school to understand what the hell is going on, and this means relearning. Giving up perhaps old ideas and relearning. This one, the Juggler. 2 of Pentacles. Loads of Pentacles came out, by the way. Pentacles are earth, they're finance, security. It's very good. So this is a very positive card. This is us, where we've had to come from, is we had to start making decisions about what is actually going on. And we're having to start to manage a situation, manage things in our life in a way that we've never had to manage before. And so we are we're juggling with the situation now. We're having to juggle all of the time. Should we say this? Should we not? When should we be quiet? When should we speak out? What should we do? What shouldn't we do? We're constantly having to do it. As the person who I was listening to said, you have to grab onto some things and you have to watch some things, okay? And this is what this card is all about. And then, where have we been? And then we've got this one. I like this card as well. This card's really positive. But what it shows is that we've had to take on board so many new things, and it's a very heavy weight to carry. This is a very heavy burden that we are carrying. Being awake is a burden. It is a burden. It's something that other people who are asleep don't have. They have lots of other bad stuff. But this is our burden. We are having to take this forward. We are going to have to take on loads of information, loads of new information. We're going to have to do things we've never done before, and it's heavy. However, we keep driving forward. In this card, he's driving forward. He can't even see. He's got so many things in front of him. He can't see, but he knows where he's going. He's going to the village in the back. Yeah? And so this is where we've been having to take on such a lot of information and just having to just keep going and keep going. Now, where are we? Where are we? So, look what came up. Death. Now, don't panic, Captain Mandarin. Don't panic. Death is not about death in the literal sense. Death is about change. This is what I was talking about before. Death is about dying to what you know, dying to who you've been, dying to the world, and starting again. Death is a beautiful card. This is the reset of our lives. It's like lose everything to gain everything. When you're carrying too much in your hands, you have to let it go so that you can pick up some new stuff. And this is what death's all about. It's about letting go. It's about change, dramatic, very important, a change that had to come. It had to come. These cards, the major arcana, these are not changeable. These are immutable. These are what has to happen. It has to happen. Yeah. So change has to happen. We have to let go. We have to die to what we were. And that's where we are. We're having to rethink everything, are we not? The next one is the High Priestess. The High Priestess. And again, this is a major arcana. This is a fixed one. This is all about intuition. Okay, and this is about starting to listen inside, meditation, getting in touch with the universe, getting in touch with the wisdom that's beyond us. And this is part of what I've been talking about for a good while, and the process that I'm in, and that many other people are in. We have to start trusting that inner voice, the inner voice that comes and tells us exactly what the situation is, who we should trust, who we shouldn't trust, what we should do, what we shouldn't do. And this High Priestess card is all about that. It's about understanding the higher information that's out there, intuiting what has to be done. Okay, so this is where we are. This is where we are. We're in the spiritual shift. This is a spiritual shift. Okay, and then we've got the Nine of Pentacles. Now, again, another pentacle that's come out. So we've had 3 pentacles, and there are more. There are. The Nine of Pentacles is all about being secure. Right? It's an Earth card, and it's about being secure in and being rich. Okay, kind of. It's the fulfillment of all of the hard work. We're getting there. We're starting to get the benefit. Okay. Now, obviously, we're talking about being awake, so we're not necessarily talking about money, but it's almost like the fulfillment of the work that we've put in. We're starting to see the benefit of it. And you know, we can see the benefit of it in the way that people are starting to unite. There are more and more of us. Everything's starting to pay off. So really, it's the payoff of the hard work that we've done. Okay. So where are we going? Where are we going? So, Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Another pentacle. This is just all being pentacles here, just about. The Ace of Pentacles, again, is all about new starts, the start of new projects that are going to take us into a successful place. Now, I believe that what this is about, the feeling that I get, is that we are going into a place where we are going to see a big change. The people who are awake are going to start to produce. They're going to start to bring on projects. You know, we've talked about, it's even started now, the freedom travel and freedom cafes and freedom hairdressers and freedom, all of these new businesses that are going to come about, new businesses that are designed for us. Okay, so this is the start. This is just the start of us getting ourselves into a place of strength. Yeah, and the other one is this one. This is the Seven of Pentacles, but this one is about putting in the hard work and having patience. It's like he's growing, and it's like I've planted it. Now I've got to watch it grow. So where we've got to go to is we've got to be patient with this. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. We're starting. The intentions there. We're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, I saw some stats about in the US, like 20% of the population in a survey believed in all of the conspiracy. 20% of the population and that's the people who are willing to say it. Lots of people don't say it. So. And you know, and other things as well, that the government hasn't got the best interests at heart. It's all corrupt and everything, and the swamps there. 20%. Okay, and normally they're skewed. So I think we're in a place where we just need to be patient. Everything's happening the way it should happen. Yeah. And then the last one of where we're going to. Look, this is the Three of Cups. 3 people standing together, raising the glasses and celebrating. And that's where we're going to. Look, this is unity, this is communion, this is getting together, celebrating, being on the same path. And this is where I see us going to, where we start becoming one, getting together and celebrating the fact that we are awake, celebrating the fact that we are the new generation. Even the oldies, we're the new generation. The new change, the new spiritual movement, the new shift. We're shifting to a beautiful place. So what I've discovered with the tarot card is that it is awesome. I believe at the moment, this is what I believe, that we are so connected now to Source compared to any other time in this particular period we've been in. We're so connected that things like this are becoming more and more, let's have a look, you can trust them a lot more, because any way that when you were dealing the cards, the tarot cards, you were connecting to Source. You're connecting to the intuition, to whatever the information. And for example, I have now done readings for people and they didn't like it, right? Because it didn't come out well for them. And so they said, can you do that again? And this has happened to me twice. Can you do it again? So we've shuffled again and we've done it again, and exactly the same cards come out. And I'm not talking about similar theme, exactly the same cards. I did one with Cynthia and we did Where Are We? And I got 3 cards. And so it was nice. I mean, there were nice cards, but then I did it again. It was Where Are We? Where we're going to be. Okay? both times exactly the same. I only got 3 cards out of the whole pack. 3 cards, exactly the same cards came out again, and that was me shuffling and cutting and everything. So what I'm noticing is that all of these kind of things, like going into meditation and getting messages, or using anything that tells gives you information from beyond, works really well. And if I'm no expert on the tarot. I know the cards now, and I'm starting to trying to get that link of being able to tell a story about the cards, which I think is the way forward. But I've been only doing it for, I don't know, a couple of months or whatever. So we can learn stuff. And let me tell you that sitting down and doing the cards and getting some beautiful messages does tremendous things to you inside. It makes me feel very, very calm when I get great messages from the cards. And sometimes you get tough ones as well. But hey, that's what it's all about. So there you are. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. I've got a lovely interview that I've done with Lawrence, and we'll meet Lawrence soon. And Lawrence is such an interesting guy, very interesting guy. Anyway, I'll post that a little bit later, maybe over the weekend. See you later, and keep shining your light, guys. Keep putting your light on the path, so that everybody else can see it. All right, take care.